Hi, writers. I was just having lunch with a friend who works at another publishing house, and we were talking about the stories that we're working on and the different manuscripts that have crossed our desks. And while it was fresh in my mind, I wanted to share some insight with you. And it's a reminder for those of you who are already doing it, and it's an encouragement for those of you who have yet to do it. And whether you are an author who is marketing your book, or you are a writer who is just working on your manuscript, the number one piece of advice I can offer and hope that you employ and add to your toolkit is to be a reader. We can always tell when a book comes through if a writer is also a reader. And sometimes it's really nuanced, sometimes that indication is subtle, and sometimes it's very obvious. But ultimately, when a writer is a reader, they have an ability to articulate their thoughts, explain concept, and really consider the outcome of a book or the reader's experience differently than if somebody is just a writer. Now, if you are not a reader and you're a writer right now, that's not to say you have to go and buy books on writing or anything like that. If I could encourage you to do anything right now, just to be read any book, read a skinny book, read a small book that has 500 words in it if there's a novella somewhere, or read something that's just a holiday romance or a historical fiction, or if you love war books, go read a war book. Whatever it is, it doesn't even have to be within your genre that you are writing in, but just reinvigorate your love of reading, however it is, so it can help you become a stronger writer. And like I said, it can be subtle. You might not even notice it within yourself, but it does show in your writing. I promise that. That is a collective agreement across the industry. And for those of you who are marketing your books, and if you are a reader, again, or you can just start now, you don't even have to read in your genre. It is very helpful. But for those of you who are looking to market your books, to read other titles and then specifically to talk about other titles is a huge advantage when you're putting your book out there and you're trying to find more readership for additional sales. Because when you talk about other people's work, that reciprocity does come back. And I also believe that when we share this as often as we can with our authors who do read quite a bit. We're like, talk about other books, whether they're in your genre or not. Talk about other books, talk about other authors, because it all signals that you are a well-read person. And that subtly reminds readers and those who are following you that you are paying attention. You pay attention to what's trending, other concepts, other ideas, and that will ultimately inform the quality of your writing. So, again, if you are not a reader right now, I hope this suggests is just a small indication and a reminder. Just pick up a book. It doesn't have to be complicated. You can simplify, pick up just something fun. If you just need to get over your reading slump, if you haven't been reading since high school or university, just get back into the groove. I have a whole reading list of things, or a whole reading list and a whole bunch of different titles that when I'm slumping as a reader, I will go back to those authors in that genre because it just becomes easy for me again. And for those of you who are already readers, do not be afraid to talk about the books that you are reading loudly. Make sure you are tagging and reviewing other people's work, because that does come back to benefit you in a lot of ways, more than and it's not just an isolated thanks for the post. It really can come back and be rewarding in many, many ways. So pick up a book. It will help make everything a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable for both your readers and the people who have written books that you love. I'll talk to you soon.